So,
Every 40 seconds, the Make-A-Wish Foundation grants a wish to a child with a life-threatening illness. Due to one man's large and generous heart, the Make-A-Wish Foundation has grown to be the largest wish-granting organization in the world. The Make-A-Wish Foundation takes into account many things when deciding which children are granted with these wishes. And it also gives these children an opportunity to decide what type of wish they're granted with. Through my personal experiences, I've grown to see the true beauty of this organization. So let me tell you a little bit about how the foundation got started. In 1980, Mr. Tommy Austin, a U.S. Customs officer, started the foundation. In 1977, he met a 7-year-old little boy named Chris and his mother Linda. Now, Chris was diagnosed with leukemia, and from the first moment Mr. Austin and Chris met, Chris told him, "Freeze, I'm a cop." And he never let Mr. Austin forget that his true wish was to be a police officer through their many visits that they had together. Mr. Austin knew that Chris was very sick, and he promised Chris a helicopter ride one day. So 3 years later, on April 29, 1980, Mr. Austin heard that Chris's illness had taken a turn for the worse, and he contacted his close friend at the Arizona Public Safety Department and asked him to help grant his wish. So on April 29th, Chris got his helicopter ride a tour around the city, and he also got to go to the DPS headquarters and was made an honorary patrolman. A few days later, Chris was presented with a custom-made DPS uniform, and he was also given a motorcycle proficiency test because he really wanted to earn wings to place on his uniform. So how does a now 10-year-old take a motorcycle proficiency test? Well, the department provided him with a motorized motorcycle, and they set up cones in the hospital parking lot, and he took his test there, and he did earn his wings. On May 3rd, just 4 days after Chris's wish was granted, he passed away. But he passed away getting to experience the true joy of a wish. So not every child is able to be granted with a wish, and there are certain criteria that must be followed. So every 40 minutes a wish is granted, and since 1980 there have been over 250,000 wishes granted. In 2010 alone, there were over 13,000 wishes granted. It takes about $7,000 to grant one wish, and with that $7,000, it takes care of all of the parents' expenses, anything that might be going into that wish, it's all taken care of so that the parents aren't paying for anything. The child must be between 2.5 years of age and 18 years of age. The child must be referred to the foundation by either the parent, the medical professional, or even the child can refer themselves. That happens a lot too. The child must have a life-threatening illness, and this must be solidified by the doctor, the child's physician. They must evaluate the child and make sure that they do in fact have a life-threatening illness. And also the child must not have had any other wish granted for them before, whether it be through the Make-A-Wish Foundation or any other wish-granting organization out there. So once these children qualify for a wish, the wishes typically fall into one of 4 categories. The first is the I wish to go wish, and these are typically vacations or them wanting to go to their favorite sporting event or even a concert to their favorite Miley Cyrus, artist. The second is the I wish to be wish, and these are wishes to be a particular person. Like in Chris's case, he wanted to be a police officer. Some have wanted to be a firefighter or a movie actress for the day. The third type of wish is the I wish to meet wish. And these are to meet a particular person, whether it be their favorite actress or any public figure for that matter, their favorite athlete. The last one is the I wish to have wish. And these wishes are just, I wish to have my own horse, I want to have my own swing set, I want a pink princess room, anything like that. Through my personal experiences with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, I've grown to become really familiar with it. I'm in a sorority called Chi Omega, and our national philanthropy is the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And what we do is we hold fundraisers and we hold different events to raise money for this organization. And over the past 2 years, we've been able to grant 2 of the I Wish to Go wishes. We granted them to two very deserving little girls, and they were 2 separate wishes. The first little girl is Maddie, and she is a 12-year-old avid soccer fan and player, and her wish was to go to the 2010 FIFA World Cup. So not only did we send her to Africa to experience her wish, we also gave her the opportunity to meet the Houston Dynamo soccer team, and she was also honored at one of their soccer games. The next little girl is Lauren, and she's 11. She's a skeet shooter, and her dream, her ultimate wish, was to go to the Atlantis Resort in the Bahamas to swim with the dolphins. So we sent her to the Bahamas, and we also held a bon voyage party for her and her family, and it was filled with games and different events at this party. And at this party, Mr. Tommy Austin, who was the first wish granter, was present at this party. He lives out of Tomball. So he was able to share his experiences with us through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, with Chris's first wish and everything like that. So without Mr. Austin and the other DPS officers, none of this would be able to happen. These children wouldn't be able to experience the joy of a wish, and children shouldn't have to worry about things like this in their life, and this allows them to escape from reality for just a few minutes. So hopefully none of this would ever happen to any of us, but if it did, what would your wish be? All right. Questions?
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, sorry.
What are some other examples of wishes that have been granted?
Well, Mr. Austin actually told us of an experience that he had. It was a little boy who had never flown anywhere, never been anywhere, but he wanted to go to the World Series, and that was his true wish. He wanted to bring along his grandfather as well. And Mr. Austin called many different people and got all of his connections worked out, and it actually became a competition once they got there, because he was able to meet one of the baseball teams, and then the other team got wind that they got to meet him. So it was this big competition. He got autographed baseballs, he got to go on the field with them, hang out in the locker room. That's one of my favorites. One little girl was in the hospital, and her wish was just to see all of the other children in the hospital have wishes granted for them. And there's been shopping sprees, the Pink Princess room. Those are a few of my favorites.
Mr. Tommy Austin was there, and you said he lived in Tomball. So is he still actively involved in the Make-A-Wish, or is he past that and they've gotten their own organization?
He's still very active. He lives in Tomball. He's more active with just the Texas and Louisiana chapters, offices, and but he still participates in all of the wishes, or as many as he can. He's at all of the banquets. He took the time out of his day to come and meet Lauren and her family as well.
So is the Make-A-Wish Foundation a nonprofit organization? How does it?
It is nonprofit. It's all donations pretty much. Like the sorority donates, businesses, local businesses donate all the time. So, yeah.
What are the other life-threatening types of, or do you know what their life-threatening illnesses are?
Whenever you grant a wish, they don't disclose the information as to what their disease or their illness is, because they don't feel like it's important. It shouldn't matter whether they have leukemia or a heart defect. It's you're granting a wish for a child. So, all right. Thank you.